In this video, I want to talk about finding your style and why that's not important. Okay, this is a controversial opinion or a little bit of an unpopular opinion, but you don't need to find your style in order to start your journey as an artist. And I'm going to tell you why. But first of all, I want to thank everyone who joined me on Patreon. I've had a bunch of new patrons, which I absolutely am so grateful for. So thank you so much to everyone who joined me. If you want to join my Patreon, I would absolutely appreciate it so much. So I'll leave the link in the description box below. If you want to check out my bookish collection that is still up, you will be able to find it there too. And I also have a 7-day sketchbook challenge completely free that I made up for you as well. So you can find a bunch of links in the description box. So you don't need to find your style in order to become an artist. And it's actually, I personally think it's advised not to. Because especially now when I see people participating in the sketchbook challenge, I discover or I realize how significant their drawings are. Like there's one person who has been just drawing what I draw, and I don't know if she's actually actively participating in the sketchbook challenge, but I think she is because she mentioned it. And yeah, so she's just drawing what I draw in the videos, which I absolutely love. You can totally do that. It's your challenge. You can do whatever you like. But I don't know if she realizes that she already has a very identifying style. Like even though she's drawing the things that I draw, she's drawing it in a way that is totally hers. And people are coming to me with these questions like, how do you find your style, or how can I discover my style? And following up with, I need to first find my style before I start my journey. And that's actually not true. When I started back in 2016, I was drawing traditionally. I don't even think it was with watercolors. I think I was just experimenting, and I didn't really think of, I need to find a style because I need to find an audience for this style. What you need is to just draw, because you're only self-sabotaging if you're telling yourself that you first need a style in order to start your journey. And it's so unfair. If you feel drawn, if you feel attracted to making art, then you should just do that and not think about the style too much. Because if you limit yourself to a certain style, or if you think like, I need to figure out what my style is in order to start my journey, then what room is there to play and experiment? Like, what if you discover your style and you just create art in that style and you just keep it ongoing? I mean, if you, with any artist, if you see their first works, they will not look anything, or they might look similar because it's just what they enjoyed doing for all this time. But you will not see that their first drawing and their last drawing is totally similar. Their style will evolve over time, and if you don't leave room for yourself to grow in that aspect and in that area, you will limit yourself to this style that you see in front of you that you first need to master in order to start. And that cannot be an excuse not to make art. Especially when you create, you need to really keep in mind that you do it for fun. You can run a business out of it, or you can find people who enjoy your art and you can monetize your art, but you cannot first tell yourself or limit yourself. You're not becoming a robot. We just want to avoid that, right? You draw what you like, and then you proceed to making it your business. And that should be the order. You like to draw, you like to make art, and you know what you like to draw because you know it's already your hobby, I'm assuming. And then you can let it develop into a business. I don't like, or I mean, it's none of my business what other people do. But I don't really like the idea of romanticizing like becoming an artist, but you're just seeing like the logical side of it. You're just seeing it like the business side of it. Like, okay, I'm going to create a Patreon from the get-go. I'm going to create a shop from the get-go. I'm going to do everything. No, you first need to draw and make sure that you like that and make sure that you feel connected to what you make. And that way it's going to stay fun. Because in the end, even though it's a business, you still need to be and stay connected to the creative side of it. It will, like, there are going to be a lot of things that will not be fun in running an art business. And one of those things is that you will need to find a balance between drawing and the business side of it. But there also comes a lot of stress with running an art business. So you need to make sure that that stress will not interfere with your creativity. And how you do that, first and foremost, is you need to absolutely love what you do. So if your style or your art, what you create now, if you don't see a business model in that, just keep going, keep creating whatever you create right now, and it will attract the right people. It will not attract the right people if you think you need to come across in a certain way, or you need to make certain things that are very easy to market and then create a business model out of that, because you will not be able to keep that going. Like, it's art, it's creativity, and you need to be fully connected to that. But finding your style does not mean that this is who you need to be for the entirety of your art career. You can definitely evolve and experiment. I know some artists who are not limiting themselves to one style. A great example is Donna Adi. I don't know if you're familiar with her work, but she does these illustrations on like photos, and she does them with celebrities mostly. But on the other hand, she's also creating her own paintings, which is the first one is completely digital, mostly digital. She also draws with acrylic markers, I think, and then her paintings are of course with paint on canvases. But both, like, if you were to talk about style, both are a totally different style, but it's still her personality that is in both of these art styles. And you can really identify an art piece based on the style, because it's the personality that is in that piece. And I think if you search too much for a style or a certain way of how your art needs to look like in order for it to be conventionally appealing, I think you lose a big chunk of that personality. And I know I've struggled with that, not in the beginning, because in the beginning I didn't care. I didn't know really that there was a job opportunity at all with what I was doing, or that there was a business coming from it at all. I was just drawing. I was just doing what I liked, and I put it online because I didn't have the space to put my art up on display in the apartment that I was living in back then. And I had a bunch of sketchbooks, and I was like, I just want to keep track of how of my process, I guess, or my progress is what I meant. And I decided to put it up on Instagram because Tumblr was already at the end of its lifespan, and Instagram was this new app, and I just put my art up there. And I had a character, but that character was just like me in a way. Like, it was my own alter ego. And I was drawing her because I always have my hair up and glasses and everything. So I was drawing her, and she did all these things, but the very first drawings I had of my character Prue were in black and white, were made with ink, were not in the format that they are right now, were drawn on A4 paper, so not at all in the A5 sketchbooks that I was using later on, not at all in the side-by-side comic panels. It was totally different, and it just evolved. And I think that's what you have to go for. Like, just create and see how it adapts to whatever you like along the way. That's how you discover what you like. But your style will always be there. Your personality will always be in your art. And as an artist, I do think it's really important to also use references just to learn. But I think when you're too laser focused on one type of style, you're restricting yourself from growth and from discovering other things. And I think that will take away a big part of the joy that you will find in creation. So if I want to say one thing, because I get this question actually so much: how do you discover or how do you find your own style? But your style, your personality is always in your art. People will recognize your style because your style is the personality that they see. You can draw something, I can draw something from another artist and it will look like I made it. And I know there's this friend that I had in middle school. I don't know if it's called middle school or secondary school. I was around 15, 16 years old. And I think we were in our 20s when she said, like, I can always recognize you drew this. Or this is so your style. And when I look back at when we were like 15 years old, I remember her saying something like that as well about it was oil paintings. And she also said, you can immediately see that you painted this. And I didn't really know what she meant back then. And then after, in our 20s, she said that something similar. And it actually clicked because I still have those oil paintings, and they really look like they came out of my hands. And it is so weird because the style, like, it was like a realistic style of oil painting that we had to do in school. And then the style that I have now, which is cartoon style, comic style, I guess. Even though those two styles are so different, you can still see that it was made by the same person. And I think that's what should be meant by creating a style for yourself. I really hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit of an unpopular opinion one, I guess, but it's just like it was just meant to rephrase what should be meant by finding or discovering your style. It's just like, I think it's fine and totally recommended to discover what you like, but I think you should just draw from the heart, and eventually your style will develop. But you just need to do it. You just need to draw or to paint or, to watercolor, whatever you want. So discover what you like, draw, and I think if you will see that, or if you have gathered a collection of like 10 pieces, you will see your style. That's how you find your style, in my opinion. If you have like a nice portfolio or a nice stack of works that you can look back to and discover that they're all similar in a way, but maybe they aren't, but you know what I mean, like your personality will be in there, and that will be your style. I truly believe that. So let me know what you think about this. Also, thank you again to my patrons. You guys are the best. Thank you for allowing me to do all the work that I do and make the comics that I make, and for my art to exist. It means a lot. Also, thank you for watching, and yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one. I wanted to say something else, but nothing comes up. Thank you so much. Bye.